Welcome. So this video I am recapping Paris Fashion Week and going through my current fashion musings. So grab a cuppa and let's get into it. Before we begin, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Esther, and on this channel I do weekly videos about what is going on in the fashion industry. If this sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video. Okay, so we're starting this video where I left off last week. I reviewed Milan and now I'm back reviewing my favorite collections from Paris Fashion Week. Paris Fashion Week was I think it was nearly 10 days. It was longer than all the other fashion weeks, and it was such a roller coaster of emotions watching all the shows and catching up on the commentary, the feedback that I'm seeing, what other people liked. As the week started, we started off with some quite weak shows, in my expert opinion. Okay, weak shows as in we had Christian Dior's collection. I don't know what that was. It was not what we wanted. That's what it was. It was very gimmicky, and not in like a Balenciaga gimmicky way, not in a Kanye West Yeezy gimmicky way. It was just like cringy gimmicky. Why were the girls wearing athleisure? What was the point of that? Yes, it was the Olympics just came through in Paris, but this is Christian Dior. This is a world-renowned historical fashion brand known for constructing some of the best looks, the new look, the best couture pieces, the best styles of fashion, the best styles of garment. This is what Christian Dior is known for. So what came down the runway was just weird, and it just wasn't necessarily, and it just wasn't needed, and that's all I'm going to say about that collection. Okay, so apart from what Christian Dior was, I felt it was a bit lackluster to begin with. The first few days, the first big houses that showed their collections, there was big expectations to be something, to kind of help me restore my love for fashion through showing me that you still love designing fashion pieces, and you still love selling the magic of fashion. Like, please. And it really didn't hit in the beginning. There was also YSL, or Saint Laurent as it is now. They really tapped back into the 80s power dressing, 80s shoulders. It reminded me of that amazing movie Working Girl, set in the 80s, and that was the sort of look they were going for, women in these like power suits, and I think that was just what the bulk of the collection was. Obviously Bella Hadid closed the show, so it was a great PR marketing. Schiaparelli is also another brand that always gives so much creatively. It ticks all the boxes with artistic inspiration, with the celebrity, with the beauty of the collections. And again, they did what they brought down the runway now, they did better before in their couture collection. I guess it is more of a couture house, more focused, and it's not really a ready-to-wear house, and they don't have a large ready-to-wear retail business, so therefore what they bring down the runway is restricted, and they do couture really well, that you don't need to water it down to make a ready-to-wear collection. Valentino was also another collection that people were deeply anticipating. For me, I like the Valentino collection. I know I heard a lot of people saying that it wasn't the best, but I'm always like, give the designer a chance to warm up, to build, to flesh out their identity and the brand. Like, you cannot judge so harshly off of one collection. It's like Peter Doe's collection for, I can't remember the name of the brand that he did, the brand that he took over. My mind has gone blank as I'm having this conversation right now, but people were really expecting Helmut Lang, people were really expecting amazing things, and I'm like, it's just collection one, give it some time, give them grace on their first outing on this big brand. It's a lot of pressure. But anyway, for that being said, I did really enjoy the Valentino collection, spring summer collection. It reminds me of like movie theater costumes. Like some of the pieces, I'm like, this looks like something really specific from a movie in the 70s, and I just liked it for what it was, like an introduction into what Alessandro Michele's Valentino will be. And I'm excited to see how he builds and develops the Valentino brand in his tenure. Again, these designers for some reason don't seem to be given a lot of time to stay at the brand and to really create and flesh out their own vision. So we'll see how long he lasts at Valentino, but I liked it more than what people have been saying about it. So give it a look and see. So the next collection that I want to talk about, which I absolutely loved, was Peter Do's Spring Summer 2025 Ready to Wear collection, held in Paris. I think this was the first Paris runway show that I've seen, because I remember before it was New York, and then in Paris it was just the presentations. But yes, it was a full runway show. I really enjoyed the whole collection. It kind of just flowed together really well. There were some pieces that he has always had from previous seasons that's come back out. He's now developing, to me, a really strong point of view and silhouettes, especially with the tailoring, with the trousers, with a lot of the see-through sheer style tops. Some of my stand-up pieces from the collection was the all black looks with the sheer on top of sheer clothing to create opaque but still sheer fabric draping. The oversized shirts were gorgeous. The one that looked like it was rumpled and not ironed, I love that. The bomber jacket was also, the one that's in black, is also one of my favorite pieces from the collections. A lot of just the pleating on the pants, on some of the skirts. It gave me a throwback to his previous collection that he did in New York, when there was asymmetric pleated skirts, and seeing them now elevated and really well designed here in Paris was just a delight to see. He is one of the newer designers that I'm just really enjoying seeing the journey of this brand and what it's going to develop and become and grow into. The final look was also gorgeous with the two different colored beiges, floor length jacket blazer thing. I really do want to see, like, the way that this blazer, it's not a jacket, it's a blazer, but it's like ankle length blazer. I do really want to see more designs of this for the future. It'll just be great to have that become a fashion trend. But yes, also another one of the tops, the complete tits out sheer top, tits out, love that, love it all through the collection. Yeah, it was just a really fun collection for me to watch, and as a fashion lover. So the next collection that I personally loved too, liked, was Balmain. Balmain, to me, again, like I was saying with Milan Fashion Week and whatnot, I like brands that just have a really unique point of view and just stick within what they do best, and they don't really chase the current trends of what's popular. And that's Balmain to me. I do think they do better with couture than ready to wear, but their designs of the ready to wear work well with a couture sensibility. But for the fantasy, for the branding of Balmain, it's nice to see the collections. The dresses with I think Kylie Jenner's face on the front, they were just a cute marketing moment. The pieces, the big shoulders, where Balmain used to do those jackets with the massive shoulders, they brought that back in for this season. I don't know if they have been doing it previously, but they are sort of reclaiming what they were used to be known for, what made them popular in this generation, and bringing that back on in the runway. Yeah, yay to them. And also the dresses with the massive waist belts, it's like they are cannibalizing themselves for a collection. And the sand dresses, the one that Tyler wore to the Met Gala. They brought that out in the collection. That was a real popular moment, so to see it in the spring summer collection is great because it's just nice to see it as a part of the current season. Yes, that was Balmain. That's all from like the main bigger ones. Then you had Chanel. To me, Chanel didn't have their creative director. It was designed by the design team, and that was noted by people talking about the collection. Some of the collection looked like autumn winter to me rather than spring summer, but hey ho. The only thing that I really have to say about the Chanel collection was this beautiful dark skin model who was mid-size, and I was like, oh my god, a mid-sized girl, not plus size and not a sample size, but a mid-sized girl on the runway, and she looks so hot in the Chanel pieces. I think I have her name. Let me find her name. Let me make sure I have it. I think her name is Ajok Dayang, and she is South Sudanese model, and I loved seeing her on the runway in Chanel, and I think she's been in a few other collections, a few other collections for spring summer 2025. But that is all I have for Chanel, because they really would normally not do that, so I was just very happy to see her. Yay! With the Issey Miyake collection, like I said, I loved the deconstructed shirt style. I like these really exaggerated hip pants. I need them exactly like that on the shop floor, and not slimmed down into a retail sense at all. This collection is just very mature. It's not like a New York brand would make it very punk and street and attention seeking and deliberately like rough around the edges and not well made, but they would take the same vision and do it like that. But Issey Miyake, even though it is giving you the same deconstructed punk look, everything still looks extremely well made, extremely tailored, extremely pleated, extremely extremely well cut, and the lime dresses, the lime pieces as well are lovely. I liked the oversized pants, like I mentioned, in different colors. They've gone for really muted tones of black, white, lilac, lime green for spring summer. They have also included a few prints and also muted browns, beige, greyish tones. The obviously gorgeous like underwear as outerwear or sheer looks. I did like the look before the final look, where the lady is completely covered over her face. I really want to see like Bianca Censori start doing all of that, because she's been walking around completely nude, and I'm like, just switch it up and stop covering your face too, just to make it a little bit more fun. Final brand that I want to talk about is Loewe. So Loewe by Jonathan Anderson, who has been rumored to believe in Loewe and going probably maybe to Chanel, maybe to Celine, don't know. But what he has done with Loewe and how he has created a great current pop culture brand, if that makes sense. Like, has really put a lot of, it's very easy for brands to have moments and then lose visibility and lose relevancy in the pop culture space, because it is still a part of the same pop culture world. And Loewe has just gotten from strength to strength and has still maintained that relevancy with all the noise of all the other brands. And one of the things that Jonathan Anderson probably understood was making it, by keeping it relevant to the younger generation or whatever, was to place like product placements and use the brand in different other facets of like the creative and art world. I think he did like set design and for the costume for that movie that Zendaya did, a movie called Challengers. But the fact that he tied the brand to it and had that viral t-shirt, it just kept it at everyone's point of view all the time. So As a brand, Loewe has been the Loewe silhouette, the Loewe puzzle bag, the general style, the pattern jeans. It's taken over the slot that other French brands like Chloe, Celine, and like Le Mer, like these other cool, chic French brands that used to have that place in people's minds of wanting to dress like that. Loewe has been dominating that forever, and it's not even just through one or two pieces. I don't even think it's generally through what the work he produces or the collections being into like particularly great pieces, but just from generally cultivating and making the brand just important for people who want to dress, to make it desirable basically through the brand positioning. So as the spring summer collection has continued that. Florals for spring, I'm seeing that, but I also like the way the florals are very oversized and not at all dainty, with this oversized hoop. It looks like balloon hoops and wires, deconstructed Victorian style petticoat dresses. That's what it sort of looks like for some of the designs. And he's done rock and roll skinny jeans and t-shirts for the men, and the really short dresses that are sitting right under the boob and just shimmer covering the bum. I think I saw it on what's her name again? Simone Rocha. She did a similar style for her spring summer, and I like that I'm seeing it in Loewe, and I would love these for spring summer as dresses where you can wear it like that, or you can put something else underneath it. Just overall a fun collection to see. I can definitely see, the new hot young actresses wearing some of these dresses, like Ayo Edebiri and obviously Taylor Russell. But yeah, so look, Jonathan Anderson has been at Loewe for 10 years, and before that it wasn't, like I said, it was not one of the major players in its specific niche of French fashion brands, and he really has done so much work to create the brand and make it what it is today. So where he is literally now the buzziest brand. Everybody wants to wear Loewe, and people didn't want to wear Loewe before. That's the thing with a lot of luxury brands that have been around for a long time. They lose relevancy with the younger generation and lose their point of view with the younger generation, because they choose to not necessarily age up or age out with their original client base. So to take a brand like that and to make it relevant, even though people wouldn't have known that Loewe is actually a Spanish brand and it was just like a smaller Spanish leather house, you wouldn't have known that because it's so far removed from its history to what the brand it is now. And so maybe that's what his kind of magic touch is, and what he will do with other faltering luxury brands that do need an injection of modernity into their brand. And there isn't many people to head and steer that ship. And yes, the musical chairs of fashion continues, and as is always said, it is always the white men who are heading these brands. So yes, it would be great to see a woman in charge of these huge heritage houses, but like we've seen before, when they have been in charge of designing these huge heritage houses like Virginie Viard at Chanel and Maria Grazia Chiellini at Dior, I've noticed how extremely criticized they are for what they produce by the fashion media or the Twitter fashion media, high fashion media. And whereas the guys get praise and they get adoration, they get celebrity, they don't get critiqued and ripped to shreds the same way. They aren't put at this high standards, and I don't think that is fair. And to once complain that there aren't women heading brands, but at the same time being completely unfair and harsh to the women who are leading those brands. Hello, being a hypocrite. Yeah. So that was me. That's the thing. Those are the collection that I love from spring summer 2025. Another thing that I wanted to tap into to talk about in fashion, leading into the fashion musical chairs of these white men creative directors, and how the lack of diversity in the fashion space, not just the models, not just the front models, which is what people seem to stop talking, to focus on when talking about diversity. I'm talking about the general everyday people working in the industry, and how there are no people of color in senior roles, in senior leaderships, in a lot or most of these brands. And if you know any, if you've come across any, it'll be good to kind of see and hear them, because as somebody who has studied fashion, worked in the industry, it's very disheartening to not know how to progress in an industry, because as the saying goes, you can't become what you do not see. And since we do not see people of color, and particularly for me as a black woman in the industry, in senior positions, you're like, damn, I cannot progress in this space at all. And I know that's not necessarily fully true, and yes, they are people who aren't public, who aren't visible, who don't have platforms, so it is sometimes just generally by still staying in the industry, because what I've realized is I could be that person who people can see. Also, why I'm bringing it up is it's Black History Month in the UK, so that's always there's always a time when there is a focus in terms of like publications and any sort of media online with black people leading it, and it just is it's always nice to see that there are sort of unique initiatives, but it shouldn't be just 1 month per year that this happens, and then things go back to business as usual in every other month. So that's why I'm exploring it. And one of the ways that I'm exploring it, like I mentioned it before, was looking at and platforming black women owned brands in the fashion space, what they're doing, how they're building community, and how they're growing their businesses. Another thing about the Black History Month in the UK, last Friday I went to Christie's for an event. Let me find the flyer. Here's the flyer. I went to Christie's last Friday in London for Voices of Black Artistry, again associated with Black History Month. So it was great to see black art on the walls. Yay. New emerging artists from the UK, from the black diaspora, and also from Africa. But then there was this really great talk that was taking place that was about diversifying the art world and what that means and what that looks like. And one of the main takeaways that I kind of got through it was the way that keeping the art, the black African art within within black people, to own this art, to actually be collectors of this art. Because if black people aren't the collectors of this art, what happens to the art? It ends up in galleries, it ends up in museums like the British Museum, holding so many historical artifacts from Africa for years. And I'm like, well, we can say, hey, give us back our art there, but here we are in the modern world not championing and collecting art from Africa, African artists, African diaspora artists ourselves. So that's another part of the conversation there, with, do we actually value art? Are we taught and raised to value art in this way? And are we taught to explore creativity and actually pursuing creative careers? I know I wasn't, or I know for my generation that wasn't something that was encouraged growing up. So you really had to focus on practicality and stability in a career, and that's the complete, and obviously financial stability in a career. So therefore you would choose something that was aligned with that. You wouldn't choose the fashion industry. So this also brings the point of where I couldn't have seen people in senior leadership that look like me, from my background in the fashion space, because they wouldn't have chosen to pursue those careers anyway. So it's kind of like a circular problem that is just more, it's more empowering to see it for what it is rather than feel defeated by it and say, I have to give up and walk away. That was just a little bit of food for thought for me, and where I feel like I want this channel to develop and grow in the direction I want it to go. And that's also, I'm interested in connecting with other black creatives, POC creatives, POC people in general who are in the fashion industry, who work in the fashion industry, not necessarily just even in the creative part of the fashion industry, and maybe what they want to actually come on my channel and discuss about their career history, what they have done, how they have, what the routes that they have navigated, and to inspire and help those see what they can become. So yes, that is my video for today. And so thank you so much for sticking with me. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's talk in the comments, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.